Javi Baez hit a grand slam. He's back, by the way. Like he's like all the talk in the baseball world is that like he's actually like
Oh yeah, it's been
back.
a really fun season to watch already so far, but go ahead.
Chicken Jockey, welcome back to some ass, baby. The Adam Steve Show. I'm Adam,
And I'm Steve.
and this is show Adam Steve Show ass, and we are here to talk about all the biggest movies, especially Minecraft, because you know it's fun. I didn't find the Chicken Jockey thing funny until I like the second weekend, and like kids would just pass by in the hallway, not even saying it like jokingly. They're just very like monotone, just like Chicken Jockey.
I've literally, so spoiler alert, I have not seen the movie that we're speaking
Hmm.
of right now, a Minecraft movie, but that has been like, of course, the online meme and whatnot, and it's literally infiltrated my vocabulary to the point where I'm like walking around and I'll just be like chicken Jackie like all the time. And it's so stupid because I literally have no reference, never played the game, never done anything about Minecraft, but that alone has just infiltrated my brain and has made me laugh about it to the point where I have like a little bit of a morbid curiosity about it. But tell me about this. Call it a movie?
So it's very funny to me because I am very ignorant to the Minecraft franchise and like, but hearing you talk about it, I'm like, oh no, I'm the resident Minecraft person of this video right now. Okay, so here's the thing with Chicken Jockey that I've come to understand. So that's maybe it is a thing in the game, but that wasn't funny because of the game. Like it wasn't like before this movie, the Chicken Jockey thing was a thing. It became a meme after the trailer came out, and pretty much anything that Steve says, you know, Jack Black says, like "I am Steve," like that was a meme. That when he goes chicken jockey, like that's now a meme. And so people think that this movie looks terrible, so then they go see it as a joke, and then the chicken jockey part is just a funny thing that they freak out. They'll freak out during that moment in the movie because it's just a funny, dumb thing to say. So it's not even a reference necessarily to the game. It is a joke that is entirely born out of the memeable aspect of this particular movie.
So you being a theater worker, just out of morbid curiosity again too, just to break off of that, did you have experience of the fucking TikTok challenge of destroying movie theaters there?
So I love that you asked me that. So first of all, I was in field that weekend, so I didn't really get the heat of it. But I did notice many things. Number one, the RPX at the Winter Park Regal had a sign out front that was like you can't talk, you know, you can't like cause a disturbance, like the chicken jockey, like it was specifically talking about Minecraft, warning people to like fucking behave, right? I saw an usher when I was in Cleveland had a chicken jockey schedule, so like you know how they have the in and out times, you know, for
Yeah.
the ushers so they know when to clean it. This guy's job specifically was it says it knows exactly when the Minecraft screening it's going to play, and your job is to get there early and just to monitor the audience during the chicken jockey part of the movie.
Just to be like, see somebody getting ready and be like, you fucking better not.
Like, like, like we got snipers posted up in the thing. Because the problem is that this skews very, very young. Obviously, kids love
Very
Minecraft, but there's
much, yeah.
also people who played Minecraft and now are adults and who still play Minecraft. And that's if you like Minecraft, hey, they have a day. It sounds like one of those like serene, like almost like Animal Crossing. Like it's
Yeah.
more like I'm trying to build up my little home, and you know, it's
Yeah.
like there's no
From what
objective
I
really.
From what I gather, I mean, they've eventually created a story and stuff too, like an adventure mode and whatnot. But I think the original idea of it was just like it's open world. Just use your imagination, create buildings, create worlds, do whatever you want to do type of stuff. And then more and more has been added to it as the years have gone on. But yeah, I never thought like, of course, I mean, with things like Barbie being so successful, we're going to keep grabbing these IPs that are so popular. But the thing that's also sad about that whole chicken jockey situation, to bring that back to that, is just like seeing the people who weren't in on the joke but were directly impacted, like the people being like, "Oh, I want to take my kid who's 5, 6 years old, who's obsessed with the video game," and then, oh, they're getting fucking like slushies thrown on them or shit like that, and it's like. That's the part that just irritated me. It's like when it's just like popcorn or whatever, and they do it to like their buddies or whatever, but they actually like are respectful about it and don't make like the fucking $12 an hour usher make each other fucking job even more miserable than it already is. That's the part that's just like, it's not cool for your little 2 seconds of fame on Twitter or TikTok for all of your buddies.
Yeah, no, I agree. And maybe it's just me getting old. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that was never like a thing when I was like a kid. I mean,
No.
obviously social media wasn't as much of a thing when I was like a child. It was more so once I came into middle school and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. Well, it's funny because like I saw a trend today. There was like kids are doing this like Kool-Aid challenge, right? Where they will run into like a neighborhood like suburbia. They'll run through a fence of a random person's house. Similar to like how back in the day they would like hit mailboxes with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
You break through and like the Kool-Aid Man. Oh, yeah. Like what does he say? Like what does the Kool-Aid
Yeah.
Man
Oh
say?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's funny. But that's like way worse. But I
Yeah,
think
because it's
that's
like it's
actually
one thing to
funny.
be like, all right, it's a mailbox, you're out like $50 or whatever, but a fucking hole in the fence, that's like a couple $100 at least. Like that's in a whole day's worth of work. Like you're gonna have to fuck shit up.
Well, that also hurts. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I'm
Like
like,
a
who the
lot.
fuck has a body where you can just like take that?
I mean, maybe it's the more of the plastic fences,
Yeah.
but still, I digress. Kids are awful, and this movie's awful. I mean, like you didn't see, I saw it, so I'll just quickly go through it. I mean, I knew I was gonna hate it from the moment it was announced. I knew I was gonna hate it from the moment I saw the trailer. I knew I was gonna hate it from the moment it started. So I'm biased, I guess, but it's unfunny, it's ugly. I understand. Okay, they accurately depicted the game. Like they did a good job doing that. But the game is ugly. So
Yeah.
like the movie is still ugly. So even though you get an amount of credit, I guess, for making it authentic to the game, but also the movie looks like dog shit. And then the characters are dog shit. There's no main character. Everyone like it's like an ensemble. It's
I
not
didn't
funny.
I didn't know Jennifer Coolidge was in the movie until I saw her in like the promo material.
Oh yeah, her whole bit is that she is horny, and there's a villager who sneaks from Minecraft land into the real world, and she falls in love with the villager. The guys with the big noses, they're
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, yeah.
They like kind of stand like this. Yeah, that was the whole joke. And I don't know. This movie's stupid. I hate it. I really don't like. It's the worst movie of the year, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah, which sucks. And neither of us drafted it, which is crazy because it's like the highest grossing movie ever. And that's a cool like 50, what, 54, 46 points that one of us would have gotten if we would have taken it.
Something like that. I have no idea. Did critics actually rate it well?
No. Yeah, no, it's
Oh,
right there in the, I do know it's in the 40 to 50 range because it's right
it's
around where
still
Snow White
surprising that
is.
it's even that high. Like I
Yeah.
was predicting like 20 to 30, but
Yeah,
people
well,
really love Jack Black.
I think they recognize the target audience is dumb and that it is just generally like a fun, and it's connected
Is
with
is
the
there actually
audience.
like a like plot line in there, or is it just a bunch of jokes? Because that's what I kind of assumed it was. Like it doesn't look like an actual story is being told, at least from the
Well,
trailer.
the kind of an amalgamation of people accidentally go to the Minecraft world where they meet up with Steve, and Steve's like, "This is what the Minecraft world's all about," and then they get attacked by the creepers and stuff, and then there's this like warlord pig that's trying to combine the Minecraft world with this like other hell world, I guess, and we got to stop this from happening. I don't. I did fall asleep. I will say that I fell asleep like two-thirds of the way in, and then I woke up right before the chicken jockey scene happened, which thank God. But
The
then again,
jump
I
scare of the
saw.
chicken jockey scene might be the most terrifying way to wake up.
Well, it was luckily for me, it was a Tuesday morning, so no one was like,
Oh, no
freaking
one was
out or
in it.
anything. But I don't know. I hated it. It's terrible. It's ugly. It's stupid. But here's the thing, though. Like I like some bad movies, right? But I like bad movies that don't succeed. Okay? Like when a big bad movie doesn't succeed, that's funny. But when a big bad movie does succeed, that's sad because now we're gonna get another Minecraft movie and a Fortnite movie and a Roblox movie. You see what I'm saying?
No, 100%. And unfortunately, I agree. Like I didn't watch it purely because like I had no real intentions. Like I said, never really. I think one of my cousins, like sons, like begged me to go like play with him one time. He's like, "Your name's Steve, like Steve from Minecraft," and I was like, sure. And he was like, let me show you Minecraft. I was like, fine. I was like, I don't know what Minecraft is. He's like, oh, I'll show you. So I was like, I humored him for like an hour and he like showed me and I was like, all right, can I go now? We were like at like a birthday party and I was like, the party's going on over here and you're dragging me into this room.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's a fun game. I'm sure it's fun. I just don't, I've never played it and I don't plan on playing it and the movie sucks. And I think there was a good version. No, not really, but like, I don't know. It's not for me. They didn't make it for me. It's bad. It sucks. I
Yeah, I
fucking
mean,
hated it.
I'm a fan of Jack Black. I like Jason Momoa, so I mean, I don't think I would like hate myself sitting through it if like my niece wanted to watch it, but I don't think I'm ever going to be like, oh, it's just me sitting here. Let's casually turn on the Minecraft movie for a good laugh. Like, there's plenty of other shit to to turn
Yeah,
on.
I'm sick of the Jack Black shtick. The whole like, I'm adult, a man child, and I'm gonna freak out about everything. Like everything's epic, and I'm gonna do my little
No,
songs.
I want more Bernie stuff. I want more darker and more like sh weird shit from Jack Black. I want him to turn almost more Nick Cage-esque, where like nothing's a bad role. That's what I
Yeah,
want
or
for his
even
career.
like Jumanji. Like I like that he wasn't playing Jack Black. He was playing, a teenage girl,
Yeah.
basically. And that was funny. And then he plays Fridge in the next Jumanji. You're never gonna meet anyone who likes the Jumanji sequels more than me. I will champion them any chance.
I I really like them too. So I mean, you're in friendly territory there, but
Mhm.
what is going to be our next thing? I really don't know.
Movie wise, oh, let's get
Hmm.
into Sinners, right? Let's like go from the
Yeah,
bottom to the top. You know what I
we
mean?
gotta go to that because
Mm.
truly, like you said right there, we both keep an updated ranking of our top tens of the year. Sinners is by far my top 10, and it's not even fucking close with the number two. Like, this movie, say whatever you want to say about Ryan Coogler, but the man knows how to make a damn good movie. I still have yet to see Fruitvale Station, which people talk very highly of that one, but with Black Panther, with Creed, with everything he kind of touches, I mean, there's a lot of artistry here, and especially like the people he gets as like his technical crew to make all of this great cinematography happen. But my biggest thing with this movie, yes, I love vampire movies, and it feels. Have you ever seen From Dusk Till Dawn?
Yes.
So this has that touch a lot. But my favorite thing about this movie that is unique from a lot of others is this soundtrack fucking rips so hard. Like I want it on like a vinyl record because it has like the old timey mixed in with like the new stuff and the movie like somehow can mix in like the surrealist tone with all of this old school like setting that we're in, but still it all doesn't feel weird as shit. Like it all makes sense in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like this movie's so crazy, but it works being such a unique thing.
Yeah, no, I can definitely speak to what you're talking about. The nicest thing I could possibly say about this movie, and it directly goes with the concept you're talking about, is there's a moment that I would like affectionately call movie magic. You know what I mean? Where like I got goosebumps, my hair is standing up, on its end. And I remember it's because it's that one scene. I mean, do we want to talk spoilers about Sinners or like, 'cause I don't really think it's a spoiler, but I also wouldn't say it to anyone
No.
who hasn't seen it.
Yeah, so I mean, we can just say it for a second. We're gonna talk about this certain scene. If you think it could be spoilerish, maybe skip over
Mm.
the next couple minutes. So, but
It's when
yeah,
they're dancing and singing.
yeah,
It's like
when they're
because
like
you
going through
see,
the music, history of music almost.
yeah, and it made a lot of sense once they did like the throwback stuff, but then they said the future, and then you see the futuristic guy, and I remember my heart like fell into my stomach because I was like, oh no, this you could kill the movie here, like you could
Yeah, no,
totally obliterate this whole thing, and then they found a way to blend it all together. And so that it worked in perfect harmony. And yes, it felt like like I've never seen anything like that. And it was such a like a celebration of music, and it was amazing. I can't tell you the last time I felt like that watching a movie.
Yeah, straight up, and then blending that into Remic's little scene outside too, not too long after that. There's just like some really cool sequences here that they are able to accomplish, as well as, I mean, he even gets like, I feel like he definitely, if you told him like this movie has the Tarantino moment at the end, he would agree. And that was such a little fun moment to have there, because like it didn't, you could have probably ended it with just the way it did in the church. I'll say
Hmm.
that without spoiling, but then we had the whole ending with Michael B in the standoff. Like that was fucking badass.
Hmm.
And you
Yeah.
didn't have to have
I,
that, but it kind of made the movie even that much better because of it.
and I'll say like, because I think this is like a great, perfect, best movie of the year kind of a thing. If I had to like talk about thing, and I've only seen it once and I've seen it twice, I think one thing that I don't love about the movie is that it feels like who's the main character? Who's the protagonist? Or is it an ensemble?
Yeah, it kind of is an ensemble. I mean, in a way, because I mean, you could make an argument for both twins, but at the same time, they're both kind of very flawed
It
protagonists. But I think it's more Samuel is kind of the main protagonist, in my opinion.
I agree. It should be Samuel. You know what I mean? I think that needs to be a little bit more pronounced because it kind of feels like a trinity of main characters with Smokestack and Samuel. And obviously, one of those legs of that stool doesn't have as much to do at a certain point. But no, I guess that would be like really my only gripe about it is I was like, it kind of feels like it wasn't balanced between those three
Yeah,
the way
it
I
feels
feel like it should have
like
been,
he bookended Samuel, and then Slim and Stacks were kind of,
driving the whole narrative the entire
yeah,
time.
like it
So I
was
thought that
almost
was
like
interesting.
we were almost seeing it through Samuel in a way too, a lot of the times. Like a lot of what we were, it was like Samuel was kind of the main character of a lot of the scenes, but we were following them through him in a way. Like I don't know how to explain that, but
And then this is also another companion type situation where it's like, I get it. You're marketing a movie and you have to like, show what the movie is about. But like, imagine if you went into this movie and you didn't know what the deal with the bad guys were. You know what I mean? Like that would have been so much more, exciting. You know what I mean? But you can't just sell this as like Western action movie. You gotta like up the ante a little bit more, because it's a risk. This is a huge risk. And boy, has it paid off. Like what? It had like a very minimal box office drop from week one to week two. And
yeah, no,
neither
I
of us
think it
picked this
was.
movie.
Yeah, no, that I truly, especially with it being the way box office has run lately, you can never really bet your money on a fucking original IP anymore. You got to go with the thing that's a for sure thing, like we should have done with Minecraft, but we were a bit
Yeah.
cynic on that one. But yeah, I mean, overall, this thing, I think what's the most like, yeah, it would have been better without revealing the vampire thing in the trailers and stuff. But I think the coolest part about seeing it and seeing it kind of reveal itself is like the way that the main antagonist, in a way, Remick is kind of written. He's almost written as like he has some sympathy to him because he's a character that is from the Irish plague, and he's like been through a lot of shit, and he like reveals to them the different about these racists coming for them and shit like that, and these different things. So like he's not coming from a place of necessarily malice in a way. So it makes it more of an interesting villain, where like we have the Marvel villains where like everything is very cookie cutter bullshit. We have something to actually put your teeth into here with vampires, but and the
Mhm.
vampires weren't just straight up vampires either, like in every other movie. Like the rules were a bit different, and it made it kind of more fun.
But also it's like it felt like more classic. Like there's the whole like the inviting them in thing is like a
Hmm.
big deal. But no, I thought it was great. I love the villain. I will say I didn't find as much sympathy in him as you're describing. Like I get what you're saying. Like this similar thing happened because what the Catholics came into Ireland and That was
Yeah,
the whole
in the whole
problem. Isn't
like
that what
potato
Belfast is
famine that
about?
happened too. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I get it, but no, I mean I didn't, but I love him as a villain, and I love his performance, and I thought he was really intimidating, and I'll never forget that first scene where he like, you know what I mean, like
hmm
I don't know how to describe that without saying that. You know, she's walking away, you just see him in the back.
Oh, it's so incredible. Just like those little moments of just like, what the fuck? And then you almost, it makes it sit with you too. 'Cause it's like, we're not going to cut right back to that. We're not going to show you what happens. We're going to make it
Hmm.
sit with you in your brain. You just got to think about it. Like those
Hmm.
kind of moments, especially in these kind of horror movies. But the way I would sell this movie, especially to people who don't necessarily like horror movies, is like, it's more of a horror movie, but not in the way you would think. Like the situations are more horrific than the actual stuff on screen. Like you get the bloodbaths later, but the story is the more of the horror story. The fucking 1930s racist Mississippi, that's more of the horror story than the actual vampire plot.
Hmm. Well, I just think the movie succeeds on so many levels. So it is scary. The action is cool. It's shot beautifully. The music is transcendent.
The cast is
It's
incredible.
oh yeah, it's sexy. I'm very pro sex. It's a very sexy movie. It's probably the sexiest movie of the year, man.
Michael
Like
B's
there's
like banging both women.
yeah, exactly. Oh, and he's great in it. That actually leads me to my next question. Do you way too early? Like it's not even we don't have to worry about this for another like 9 months. But do you think this gets Oscar nominations and or wins even?
Truly, I would give Michael B a nomination, if not a win at the moment. Just because, especially with both of those roles, you truly can feel two completely different characters. Like when he's going with one woman and when he like goes to the house to see his like old wife and all of that kind of stuff, like those feel like completely different characters to a point where like when you're watching it, if you're not watching it face to face, like all of the dialogue and everything, even the slight mannerisms in the way he talks, like they feel like two completely different characters. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would the acting from everyone, but especially Michael B pulling off that to such an extraordinary level where like we've seen people do multiple roles in movies before, but it truly feels like just like he's especially when they're in the scenes together, like he gave props I actually saw in like threads or something because I think I follow him, and they like there was like a post where it was like big props to Michael B's like stand-in that he's worked with for years because like he would have to be there and they would I think a lot of times they even like would CGI sometimes because they didn't want to sit there and record for budget's sake having to
Hmm.
re-record things over and over again like they did with like Lindsay Lohan and like shit back in the Parent Trap days.
Hmm. Oh no, I completely agree. I think my hot take would be I think this gets a Best Picture nomination. I think it gets all the technical categories, you know, cinematography, special effects, sound. I think it gets a score nomination for sure. I'm sure that in there's an original song that gets nominated. I'm positive about
Yeah.
that. I think Michael B will get nominated as lead, and I think that the kid who plays Samuel gets nominated as supporting actor, and then supporting actress, maybe it's Haley Steinfeld, but hey, maybe it's I don't know the name of the other actress, but
I know you're
the
talking about
other
the lady
romantic interest, the
the
mother.
lady that was in like the she's in the MCU too. She was in the Loki show, I think.
Oh yeah. She's the TVA person, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. And a lot of people are talking about the guy Delroy Lindo getting
Yes.
a nomination as well. Like, I mean, maybe it doesn't get all these acting nominations, but I think it's gonna get some kind of representation. But I just think 10 nominations
Well,
is
yeah, and
okay.
especially, I mean, look back. He was already nominated before with Black Panther for Best Picture too. So I mean, he Ryan Coogler is a person that's in the Academy's mind. So I would love to see this get attention by then because, like you said it earlier, I've seen this movie twice in theaters. I would go a third time. Like I saw it on a Monday, and then by Sunday I was seeing it again with my brother because I wanted him to go super badly. So. I
Mhm.
highly recommend it. I mean, I think we both gave it 5 out of 5s.
5 out of 5, 100%. It's the best movie of the year, hands down. Better than Dogman.
Yeah. I still need to see Dog Man, but
Mhm.
yeah,
I do have another question for you about Coogler. So Coogler, for me, hasn't missed. I love Fruitvale, both Black Panther movies. The second one is so underrated at this point. I think that Creed is great as well, and he's worked with Michael B. Jordan every time. So, how long until the conversations of Scorsese and De Niro versus Coogler and Michael B. Jordan becomes like a more reasonable face off. You know what I mean?
Well, especially that's literally our generation. That is our version of that now. So, and especially they're extremely early on in their careers for having this conversation. So, it's going to be telling, especially with the next 10, 15 years, if they continue to work together like this and on this level, like if Sinners really gets the Academy's attention like we're hoping,
Mhm.
it definitely merits the conversation already, which is crazy to say.
So I think it's like 20 or 25 years until Ryan Coogler is the age that Martin Scorsese was when he won his first Oscar for The Departed. Do you think that Ryan Coogler wins an Oscar before Scorsese, like before the age that Scorsese was when he won one?
Yes, without a doubt.
That's a pretty big feather in the cap, you know what I mean, of that
Yeah,
their argument, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, Scorsese was due and was shafted for a long time. And then I think De
yeah.
Niro won way sooner as well. And Michael B. Jordan has Michael B. Jordan gotten nominated for anything ever? I don't think
I
so.
don't I don't think so.
Yeah, so he's got a little
Nah.
bit of ways to go. And then he's directing too. Because he did that last Creed movie, if I'm
Yes, he
not
did.
incorrect. Yeah, and I'm
Yep.
sure he's gonna do more in directing because I think he did a good job. But yeah, I think we got a bright future here with some of these filmmakers and actors here, and it's really rewarding. You know what I mean? Like I was so hungry for like a great movie this year, and just really happy about it. You know?
Well, yeah, and like I can say too, my Monday audience was a bit smaller when I saw an IMAX, but my Sunday viewing, it was in a bit of a like it was like a 8 row theater or something like that, one of the smaller ones like you guys have in that Regal down there.
Mm.
But the bitch was packed. There was not an empty seat in the house, and it was a fun watch because it wasn't, there was a couple phones, but it was mostly people very engaged, and it was fun to see the reactions, especially me seeing it a second time to be able to see the moments that really got the big reactions, like we talked about with the big poop scene
Hmm.
and things like that. Like, in people like tapping along to the music and really vibing out to that big scene too. Like I've said multiple times already, but the IMAX, I can say a lot of the sweeping shots look really great, but I don't think you have to like the sound is what really merits the IMAX. But even like you have the what is that theater that's down there, the Dolby Atmos.
RPX, Dolby.
I
Yeah.
like the Dolby Atmos for this sound would almost be better than IMAX in my opinion. Like the shots look great, everything in this looks fantastic, but the sound is where it's at for this movie.
So how would you rank this amongst Coogler's? You said you haven't seen Fruitvale,
I've
but
not seen Fruitvale, but I mean this might top the list right now. I mean, truly, I like the Black Panther movies a lot. I think Creed would probably be even above those just because I'm obsessed with those movies too. But yeah, I think Sinners tops the list, and I'll have to catch up on Fruitvale. But from what I've heard of Fruitvale, that might even top the list above Sinners too. But
see, I'm kind of different. I love that first Black Panther movie. That's probably my favorite of the bunch. Then Sinners, then Creed, then Wakanda Forever. I don't know. Fruitvale Station may be high, but I haven't seen that since 2013. I need to rewatch that. And then I want to do an exercise with you real quick. I'm gonna say, and this is a compliment. The fact, because I imagine I don't know if it's gonna win a lot of these, but I'm gonna say a movie, and then you either say that movie back at me or you say Sinners. So I'm basically asking Sinners or blank here. So I'm just trying to, exemplify what conversation that this movie, is in based off of the reaction that everyone's had to it. Sinners or Oppenheimer?
I think Sinners is more watchable, like rewatchable for sure. I've not
Okay.
rewatched Oppenheimer since theaters.
I'd go Oppenheimer, but it's close. All of these are going to be close. Nope.
I'd watch Nope again first, probably.
I'd also take Nope. Avatar: The Way of Water.
Sinners.
I took Avatar. Top Gun: Maverick.
Ugh. Probably Top Gun.
I take Sinners. What about No Way Home?
Nah, Sinners for sure.
The Batman.
Ooh, the Batman.
Everything Ever All at Once.
Everything everywhere.
But you see what I'm trying to say? Like, it
Yeah, yeah.
is now like one of the
It
premier genre films of this decade.
no, 100%. Like between all of those movies, it wasn't just like a clear like other than my bias against Avatar, but
Hmm.
I yeah, it wasn't like a clear like I had to really think about it because truly this movie has not really left my thoughts since I've seen it twice now. Like I'm
Hmm.
constantly thinking about it. I'm because I've used that Threads app sometimes and I've clicked on just a couple things about Sinners. It's constantly flooding with that. So I go on there sometimes just to see what people are talking about.
Hmm.
And so it's constantly on my brain right now. And it's yeah, it's at the top of the pack for 2025, and I don't see it leaving anytime soon.
No, I agree, and I am so happy about its success. I'm jealous I didn't pick it. We have another. I have like two other movie draft games that I play now, and one of them's like way more in depth, and it's like you get points for how much money it makes every weekend, and then you get points for award stuff. And I took Sinners, and it was like an auction draft, so you're like you have an amount of money to spend. And I have Sinners, and I'm like, it's gonna get 10 nominations. And like, not only is it gonna do well at the box office, but it'll get every nomination possible, and I
Yeah,
just
because
couldn't be more happy about success.
it only went down like what 6% or something like that over the second weekend. It was something crazy like that, like record breaking. Because usually movies on average, I'm pretty sure they drop like 20 to 30% at least.
Oh yeah, no, but no, this has word of mouth. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
has people discovering it because it's
I
original
mean,
IP. You
people
know?
people like me who literally drug his brother and we went and saw it and I even bought his ticket and everything just for him to go. So I contribute to the box office, even though I have a subscription.
Now I'd probably see it again. I don't know if I'll catch it in theaters. I kind of want to watch it at home because I think subtitles would help me a little bit with some of the stuff.
You know, speaking of that, I didn't even know that I bought a ticket when I went with my brother for a open captioning screening, which I wish more theaters had these because it literally had the captions on the screen in theaters, and I kind of loved it.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
actually do that. Well, there was just this one in particular. I was like, there were certain things where I couldn't tell what.
Well,
It's
yeah,
also like
especially
old-timey language
the
too, because it's a
narration at the
century ago.
beginning. I could not really hear it that well the first time I watched it, so it was very helpful to have the subtitles at the bottom.
Yeah, but 5 out of 5, best movie of the year. I doubt it's kind of like Dune. Oh yeah, Dune. Do you like this more or Dune? Either one.
Probably Sinners a bit, just a bit more, but yeah.
I'd go Dune, but like it's close. It's close. You know what I mean? But it's a similar thing with Dune Part 2 last year, where it's like far and away the best movie of the year came out in fucking March or April, and now we just have to spend the rest of the year being like, well, it's not Sinners.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else have you been watching lately? Well, there's still another one that we both watched that we wanted to talk about, right?
Which one would that be?
So I would love to bring it up because The Woman in the Yard is the latest Blumhouse film, and nobody liked this movie. Nobody saw this movie. I think it made less money than The Chosen, the TV show about Jesus, made.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. There was a
Yeah.
fucking couple in front of me that were like the guy was like talking to them and I could hear them and he was like, "Oh, you're seeing The Chosen Part 2?" He's like, "Did you see The Chosen Part 1?" And they're like, "Yeah, earlier today." They literally had left the theater for like a little bit and then came back and they were seeing Part 2.
Wow. Oh my
They
gosh.
were so committed to Jesus.
Well, if they're happy. Well, King of Kings, the Angel Studios animated film, apparently it's Korean. Like, because I saw something today where
The
it said
Mark
it's the
Hamill one?
highest grossing Korean, yeah, movie. It just surpassed Parasite.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, awful.
To take
Well,
that from
but hey,
Parasite is just
people are
rude.
seeing the movie. People are buying tickets. There's a clear hunger and desire for faith-based films. So, like, I'm not going to necessarily go out of my way to see it. I might, just be a part of the conversation and see if there is any value there. But, like, it definitely feels like one of those things where it's like we like it because we follow the religion, not we like it because it's a good, piece of media. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's truly tempting, and I guarantee there are going to be, seeing all of this success and whatnot, there are going to be so many people who are going to be like, I'm not even fucking religious, but let's get this fucking bag real quick and make a dumbass movie for. $10,000 that these people are going to eat up and I'll make millions off of it. Like those
Hmm.
people are exist probably already, but they're going to come in droves, especially with all of the success.
Oh yeah, and then King of Kings is so important specifically because we need, more faith-based films for its children. Children are being indoctrinated today. The liberal Hollywood's coming in and like making all of our kids turn into liberals,
And
infecting them with
gay.
their woke ideas. Yeah, gay ideas. So why
Disney's
don't
making
we
them
have,
gay.
right-wing, propaganda for children, basically, that's telling them the story of Jesus. And like I said, I haven't seen it. I'm very interested to see it, but I don't want to go to see it. But it's something for
Yeah.
parents to take their kids to, and they're having a great time. But The Woman in the Yard, on the other hand, I caught this movie after I knew everyone didn't like it or thought it was at least mid. And mind you, I only gave it a 3 out of 5. Okay, I'm not like writing home about it. But one thing I'm laughing the entire movie. Did you find it funny at all?
There were moments, yeah, for sure. It was just it it started off feeling like it was going to be like pretty spooky.
Mm.
And it has some like good ideas about like grief and everything that you can really play with. But you could play with the idea for about 10 minutes and make a good short film out of this idea. To make it 90 minutes, that's where the biggest problem with me came for this. Is like it got the scary part got stale very quickly, and then like you say, it just becomes very goofy to the point where you either have to laugh about it or you have to cry about it because it's just that boring in ways too.
Well, don't get me wrong. I get the grief stuff. Like the whole movie's a big metaphor. So like I connected with that. I thought that that was solid. But I thought it was very funny because the main like scary thing of the movie, like Jaws, like, oh, there's a shark in the water. That's the main thing we're afraid of here, guys. In this one, the main thing we're afraid of is there is a woman in the yard. Oh my God. If I swear to God, if there is a woman in my yard, I'm gonna be so upset. And there
Well,
they are. They're just so upset. But here's the thing, man. Okay? If there was a woman in your yard, you'd be upset too. You would be
hmm.
uncomfortable. That would be like a whole thing. To get off my yard. What are you doing on my yard? So like I'm simultaneously laughing at the movie for this like such a low stakes issue. But I'm also like, you know what? Yeah, actually, you are right. If someone was on my property and I didn't want them there, that would be a very fresh, especially if I'm like handicapped and I'm alone with I have to like protect my children. I have
Yeah.
no phone, I have no car, and there's this woman in my yard.
Yeah, like exactly. There are parts to it where it's like yes, but it almost feels like it's like the PG like Babadook in a way. Because I mean spoilers, I guess, but isn't the woman her?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much.
it's
Uh,
it's like a demon thing,
but I
like her
love that
grief.
comparison actually to the Babadook because you're right. It's a very similar type of, it's just a metaphor for dealing with loss and grief.
Hmm.
I thought that was astute. But yeah, I think it's fine. I give it a 3 out of 5. I also like how many horror movies primarily take place during the day. So,
Exactly. And
all
that's
the
what made
shadows were
it.
cool.
Like the trailer, that's what kind of sold it for me. Of like, I kind of want to see this because like I love daytime horror. Like I think it was like the second Resident Evil movie where like there's a scene where like they're fighting the monsters and shit outside, and those movies are god awful. But that scene specifically, I loved because it's out in the desert during the day, and you can't just hide your monster in the dark. You kind of have to show everything and actually work a bit harder. So
Hmm.
that I mean, I always love that kind of shit because it usually forces you to be more creative rather than just hiding shit in the dark like a lot of cheap horror movies do.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I thought it was an admirable thing. I liked the characters. I vibed with what was going on. 3 out of 5. Good movie. I'll buy the Blu-ray if it's on sale for $10 or less.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit lower than you on it. I think I gave it like a 2.5, but it looks incredible. The director who directed this directed like Orphan and like House of Wax, which are all movies I enjoy. Not
And Black
necessarily
Adam.
because, yeah, I didn't enjoy Black Adam, but I give him a pass on that one.
Hmm.
But he's very talented with the camera and he's very creative with like his editing style. Like he's a very visual director, but it just feels like he forgot to fully flesh out this one. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't hate it, but it's definitely nowhere near like the top of the list when it comes to recent horror.
Yeah, for me, it's a solid thumbs up. I think I put it on my top 10 for a hot minute. But like that's because it's a bad year, and there's you would be surprised. I think just recently my list has now become only 4-star and up movies. So for me, it's a very middling year. So, but I like that one, and I think that people were mean to it. But yeah,
Well,
3 out of 5. What did you give it?
I gave it, let's make sure.
I think you had a two, 2.5, maybe.
I
Maybe you were
think I gave it
just
2.5. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I literally wrote the shops are crispy and it starts off strong, but I lost focus and I even literally had to like stop, rewind a little bit because I'm like, whoa, 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 something's happening here.
Hmm.
Because I like started to look at my phone and I was like, oh shit. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's speaking of top tens though, a movie that's still in my top 10, something you probably saw a bit ago, but it just got up to Netflix. One of them days with Keke Palmer and SZA. I had a lot of fun with this movie. It's not, I don't think it's even like the best comedy that's come out in recent time or anything, but it very much has like the female Friday feel to it.
Yeah.
It has like raunchy comedy. They get into hijinks. They have like a time clock that they have to get to, and it's just one thing after another. Cat Williams has a little funny cameo in it.
Best scene
It's
in the
just,
movie.
yeah, absolutely. And if you, I mean, if you're not a fan of Keke Palmer, you might not love it as much, but I find her quite charming since, like, literally since she's been on like Nickelodeon and shit and Akilah and the Bee and whatnot. So she's goofy, but the whole movie is, if you have fun and you like studio comedies, it checks all the boxes and you're gonna enjoy yourself for a good 90 minutes.
I really like One of Them Days. I thought it was like really fun. I only gave it like a 3 out of 5. I'd probably bump it up to a 4 because I wouldn't mind rewatching this at some point. I mean, I think the movie kind of like rests on the shoulders of Keke Palmer, like you said. She just has the most infectious, personality in the world, and
Yeah,
I'm really excited to see what she does going forward. I think she was my favorite supporting actress in 2022 for Nope. I loved
yeah.
her there. I mean, or well, maybe she's lead. I guess she's more supporting. I think Daniel Kaluuya is the lead of that movie. But she's awesome. SZA was good. I got her mixed up with RZA. I was doing a project at work and RZA was on the thing, and I was like, SZA, like the person from the Super Bowl.
Wu-Tang.
Yeah, no, I am so silly. But she was all right. I wasn't crazy about her. But yeah, there's some funny scenes in the movie. Good fun time, especially catch it at a theater. I mean, you can't anymore, but catch it at a theater with, everyone laughing, it
That
worked
or
really
turn it
well.
on like if you're having friends over and stuff and you all feel like laughing together, like it's a community like laughing. Watch it with like don't watch it with kids obviously, but if you got like family members that are all hanging out, like older adults,
Mhm.
everyone will probably get a kick out of it. There's some laughs to be had.
Yeah, it's my favorite, the 3-star movie. I was just saying how like I just recently got the 3 stars out of there, and One of Them Days is like the remaining one, or I believe like was the remaining one. Where is
Yeah,
it on your list right now?
I gave it a 4 and it is currently at number 8.
What's your top 5 again?
My top 5 currently sits so number
So
5 is
Sinners.
Companion.
Okay.
Oh, I was just gonna go down from 5 to 1.
Um,
5 Companion, 4 Hard Eyes because I loved that movie a lot. People
okay.
hated the monkey, but I have that at number 3. Number 2 Mickey 17 and number 1 Sinners.
Okay, actually, which reminds me, I would like to give some updates for the Ass game. So you drafted Mickey 17 with actually your fourth pick. And that did not make $100 million domestically, so the Rotten Tomatoes score will not count. Another update with your list, Michael, the Michael Jackson biopic, got pushed back to 2026 and is now been split up into two parts, which I find interesting. So yeah, that is two whiffs there. But I also will join you in the whiff category because I had Snow White, which just did not have the ducats. People finally decide, this time this is the line. We're gonna draw the line here.
I
But
think it
then
was
I
more of a
do.
stand against Rachel Zegler than anything.
Well, that was kind of the difficult thing is like no matter what side of the Israel-Palestine conflict that you're on, you're going to be mad at the movie because, Zegler goes with Palestine, Gal Gadot goes with, you know, Israel.
And
So,
everything, like I have not seen the movie, but everything I've seen from Gal Gadot, she is fucking horrible in that movie more than anything else I've ever seen her in.
I'm sure I talked about it a little bit last time, but I thought it was all right. You know what I mean? She is terrible, but she's like trying, which is like the sad part. But
It's
she's
the
like
saddest
really
part.
trying, yeah. And but she has an original song, and like it's a good song, but she's just awful. It like really ruins it. And yeah, I like the "I
It's a
Want"
good song, but
song.
she's just awful.
Yeah, the "I'm waiting on a wish between the million starlights" or whatever she
I
says
haven't
in
even
that.
heard it.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that movie didn't make anything. Thunderbolts though will make 100 million, I'm sure of it. And I saw it, and just to get out of the way how I felt about that, um, with no spoilers, obviously. Now, mind you, I knew I wasn't gonna like this going into it, so maybe I'm a jerk,
I think we
if
all
it's
knew that,
biased,
but
so
go
you can
ahead.
disregard that. Uh, well, for a couple of reasons. Number one, I like superhero movies because they are superheroes. You know what I mean? They're not just heroes. They're not just guy with gun. They are. I have powers, special powers that are visually interesting to see on the big screen, right? And no one has interesting powers. I mean, besides Ghost, who has the phasing thing. But everyone else is like, I'm a super soldier or I'm a super spy and I'm just stronger and better at fighting than your average Joe. So I don't
So
like that.
I could be wrong, but I think that's kind of the point of the
It
Thunderbolts.
is. It
Because I
is.
think the original leader of the Thunderbolts is the Punisher.
Yeah, and Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah. He was, and I think Punisher was like the original like guy who was like running the show kind of for Thunderbolt Ross. Like it was like Punisher, Thunderbolt Ross, and a few other people. But yeah, I totally understand that. Because
Well,
like
that's also like
you're
the
in a
argument about Minecraft where it's like, but Adam, it looks just like the video game. They were trying to do that. And I'm like, yes, but that sucks. You know what I mean? Like, I get that you were trying to, the whole point is like, oh, isn't this a group of fucking rejects? Like, yes, it sucks. You know what I mean? I don't know. The movie just keeps telling me in the marketing that this team sucks. They don't get along well. They don't have good chemistry. They're not powerful. They're not, why is this even a thing? And so I'm like, yeah, why is this even a thing? Okay? Because they don't have powers, they don't have cool costumes. Like Black Widow Jr. wears black. And I literally in the poster, I think Bucky just wears a black t-shirt. It's muted Captain America, like fake Captain America outfit. The Red Guardian is just Captain America, but without the blue. And then Ghost wears like a gray mask with like a black. It's just black. It's just plain black.
I like the Wheaties box poster.
I like the Wheaties box poster. I think that's fun. But yeah, so it's just not really delivering anything that I want from a superhero movie. Whereas like Fantastic Four coming out soon does both those things in spade. Like each member of the Fantastic Four has more interesting power than every single one of the Thunderbolts. And then they're wearing these like flashy, like baby blue and white costumes, and the settings, this like cool 60s throwback. Whereas like Thunderbolts, it's dark and muted
And
and
they have a different
serious.
Stranger Things guy in Fantastic Four. He's more
Yeah, I don't
charming.
I don't like him, but it's fine. And then you got to remember my least favorite MCU movie ever by far is the Black Widow
Ant-Man and the
solo
Wasp,
film.
Quantum Realm. Oh,
I did recently rewatch Quantumania just to
that's my
kind of
least
like,
favorite.
okay, here's the thing, because I put this in my review. I was like, I like that we go to a new place with new types of beings. I like Kang. I like the villain Kang. I think
You
like
know,
he's like
you know what
sad
I,
and
sorry, go ahead.
and then I don't know what the last thing was. They play a song, the Welcome Back.
No, my only favorite thing about that movie is that whoever did, whoever hired Michael Douglas to do that movie is a fucking monster because he basically looks so uncomfortable in all of the green screen moments every time he's in the whole movie. It's literally like 85 to 90% green screen. Like the intro and the outro, I think, are maybe the only parts where we're actually in the real world. And it's not good green screen either.
Oh,
But
it's
it's also
ugly. Like
like,
MODOK looks disgusting, but I think it's so disgusting that it's funny.
yeah, the MODOK thing is hilarious. That's actually the only part that I truly loved about that movie. But the rest of it, it literally feels like an unfinished movie that snuck its way into theaters and then onto our home screens and stuff, and just like it truly is a nothing burger of a movie. Because even worse than Thor: Dark World, everything that this movie sets up with Kang and everything is totally null and void. Like it doesn't, like nothing about this
Yeah, but
movie
that's not its
matters.
fault. It's the fault of, real life Kang,
No, yeah, but it makes it even better to the fact that the movie already sucked, and then it also just sets up so many things that don't matter anymore. So it just truly makes itself the least entertaining and obsolete movie of all of them.
Well, it is funny that like we're building up this next new Avengers bad guy, and the Ant-Man finishes him off all on
Yeah,
his own in the first movie we see him in. But no, okay, so I want you to understand that the vitriol that you feel towards Quantum Mania, and know that that's how I feel about Thunderbolts, because I have Black Widow at the bottom, then Thunderbolts, and then Quantum Mania. Because I thought every character is annoying. I hate the Black Widow characters. All of them are, I hate them. I think the movie's unfunny. I think that Alexi is just annoying. Like he'll make a funny joke and then he'll just keep talking and it's like shut up. And then Valentina is like a shitty version of Nick Fury. And I okay, how about this? I feel like we've said everything we need to say about Bucky. Like I feel like he's gone through enough of an adventure that we don't really need to keep exploring that
yeah.
character.
I love Sebastian Stan. I don't care what he does. Let him keep collecting paychecks.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like, dude, you got an
He
award
was
last year, like a
almost
Golden
bankrupt. Did
Globe
you see
last
that?
year. Sure, but like,
He made
I think
money
he's
off of
better
Hot
than
Tub Time
this.
Machine.
Well, so now I'm like mad at the people that I like in the movie because I'm like, why would you waste your time with this movie? And then like I heard the hype going into it was like, oh man, they do some world building stuff. Like there's some teases for what's coming next. You know what I mean? And it's really monumental. And I watched the movie
Love
and
when
I
my
would,
balls are tickled
yeah, sure, sure. No, I was excited about that.
by Kevin
And
Feige.
and there's two things I would say, and obviously I won't spoil it, but both of those things we know. We already know these things. Like, I don't know, it's kind of like at the end of Civil
The
War when they're
Fantastic Four are
like,
coming. It's like, yeah, motherfucker, I've seen the trailer.
yeah, like and even just things that like people were like calling about, like because I know spoilers came out recently. I didn't look into any of it, but the two big, like MCU defining things that happened in this movie, I was like, well, that was like obvious that that's how that was gonna go. And then the other reveal thing, I was like, well, I knew that too. That's not news.
Yeah.
So. I hated it. I think it's terrible. Everyone loves it though. You will love it. The next lowest, I think what there was 30 people total on Letterboxd that gave it a 1-star rating.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking to a guy who really enjoyed the Hellboy from David Harbour because I like David Harbour quite a bit. And I love Florence Pugh a lot. I think she's very pretty.
She is. She's a great actress, but I'm just not here. Like I'm so sick and tired of the like I'm a
I don't really
superstar.
love the character, but
Because he's just Black Widow Jr. and but less interesting because doesn't even have the ties to Shield. She doesn't have the relationship with Hawkeye. Like she was already the most boring Avenger, and now she's even more boring. And less powerful. So yeah, I hate Thunderbolts. I'm very anti Thunderbolts.
she's cute. She makes me laugh sometimes. But yeah, I'll
Yeah, but
watch
one out
it.
of five. You saw a movie that I was interested in, that I want to watch. Should I watch Hell of a Summer?
This is a complicated one because on paper, the idea is super good. Execution, it's first time filmmakers, Finn Wolfhard from the It movies and Stranger Things and whatnot. He's well known. This is his first. I think him and one of the other co-stars, they wrote and directed this movie. Shot it back in 2018 or something like that, or 2019. Like, it's been maybe even 2020, but it's been a few years that they've had it in the can. I think trying
Oh,
to
can you
sell it
like
or
tell he
something.
looks younger?
A little bit, but. like I think even on, let me look because I have it on Letterboxd here, but even like the year on here because it played at like film festivals before it ever got released. But 2023 is the year on it. So actually, so 2 years ago is when it was actually first screened or whatever.
Hmm.
But all things considered, it's a very much trying to be like a throwback, but also be like the Gen Z version of like a Friday the 13th. And it plays with the idea, but also has more original outcomes with the story. But there's all the technology, and there's like a gay character, like, and they make jokes about them being like camping and whatnot. Like it's like a it almost so what I said actually I think in my review, maybe I wrote it, maybe I didn't, I can't remember, but Friday the 13th meets Bodies, Bodies, Bodies is kind of what I said it was. Now I
Oh,
don't
I
think it's
like Bodies,
as
Bodies, Bodies.
yeah, so it has that same type of vibe of like the kids kind of talking like that, and it makes you laugh like with that aspect, and like the kills that happen are pretty crazy and whatnot, but I wouldn't say it's like I think I gave it like a 3 or a 3.5. Like I enjoyed myself with it. It's not my new favorite movie by any means. I think it
Hmm.
might still be where do I have it in my top 10 right now? So it's at 11, so it actually dropped out of my top 10.
Will I
But
like
still,
it?
I think you might enjoy it. I don't know if you'd really like it too much, but it's one of those like if it's like cheap or something, it's worth watching. I don't think you'd watch it multiple times, but if it's
Hmm.
like streaming on Netflix or something too, it's one of those things, I think.
Yeah, because I was interested in it. It looks like fun. I like Finn Wolfhard vaguely. It looked like a thing that would like people wanted to
Yeah,
do. You
it's
know?
the I think the guy who really stole the show more than that was the I cannot remember his name, but he's the guy that was like one of the guys in Gladiator 2, and he's been in a couple other things.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he's one of the Joseph Gwyn's like twin emperor
Yeah.
brother. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
him.
and he's super good in it. He's like a goofy guy who's like overstayed his welcome basically at the summer camp. He's like still a camp counselor even though he's like I think he's like 19 or something. The rest of them are like still in high school and they're like, "What are you doing here?" Or he might even be older than that. He's in his 20s, but he's like a guy who like loves the summer camp and is like obsessed with it to the point where they like when people start killing, they immediately are like, "It's him. He's the one doing it." And he's like, "No, no, it's not me."
I like him. Yeah, I know. I wanted to see it. I wanted to see it in theaters. I didn't have time to go out of my way to see it. I was missing. I was busy for a very hot minute there. I was doing a lot of traveling and such. But I
You could
definitely want to see
definitely
that.
So if you want to watch it with someone and if they're like kind of squeamish about horror, it's something you could still watch with them. Like, because it's not really like overly gory or anything, and it's not like overly terrifying. It's more, I'd say it's more comedy with some horror in it, kind of thing.
Mhm. Well, I think I have the perfect compliment for you right now because I watched The Legend of Ochi, which is another throwback genre film starring Finn Wolfhard, and I thought it was kind of bad actually. I mean, Willem Dafoe is fun as this like bad guy, like he like leads this army of like, young boys. Because there's this thing called the Ochi, it's like little blue monkeys and it's a problem, and but the girl makes friends with one of the baby ones, and she goes off to try to save it or whatever and find her mom, but it feels a lot like E.T. or like How to Train Your Dragon. Like, I made friends with the other species and guess what, they don't want to kill us, they want to be my buddy and I'm gonna get them
Yeah.
back home, kind of a thing.
Yeah, I saw the trailer actually the other day, and by far the most interesting thing about it was Willem Dafoe. I was like, I feel like he's probably gonna steal the show for the most part, but yeah, it very much looked like something that I could probably turn on for my niece and she might get a kick out of it, but not something I'm really running out to the theater to see.
Yeah, it's pretty family friendly. I think that was the thing. It was the first A24 movie that's like overtly family friendly. It's cute. Like, I love the practical effects of the like the little creatures. I mean, they're not like you're writing home about it or anything. It's just little monkey things.
Yeah.
But I hate the girl. Did you ever see News of the World?
I don't think so.
Yeah, well, that was the movie, the Paul
Is it Tom
Greengrass one with
Hanks?
Tom Hanks. Yeah.
Never saw it,
Um,
no.
I didn't either, but the main girl from that, I hate her. I hate her with all my I don't like she's annoying, she's weird, like she's very abrasive in the movie. I don't know. I didn't like because that was the thing. Like I've seen this movie before, so what really boils down to is like, do I like the differences? Like, oh, do I like these individual characters? Do I like the design of the creature? And then the score is very jarring at times. Finn's in the movie. Why? I don't know. He's just one of the boys.
Recognizable
But
face, probably.
yeah, I didn't like it. I gave it 2 stars. Not good. You might like it a little bit more. I think you'd give it a 3. It's more like a 3, but I just found the characters really annoying.
All right. Well, there's one other one that actually I just now remembered that I don't know if you ever got out to see. Where the hell is it in my
Here, I'm checking our
list?
list as well because I have a
It's
few, but I
it's the
know
Paul
you have
Walter Hauser
Borderline.
one. But yeah,
Oh,
Borderline.
yeah, I almost got a screener to that movie and I never
Oh
did. I
gosh.
wish I
Why can't, oh,
did.
there it is. The Luckiest Man in America. So the story behind this one. It's a true story, by the way, or at least like I don't know if it's fully the true story, but it was like back in the 80s. So are you aware of the show Press Your Luck, like the game show that has like it's like a spinning thing and there's like you like win money based on like what you like tap the button on. Like those games almost at the arcade or whatever. But anyway, and there's
Oh,
like
but yeah, I'm
whammies
very
on
like
it.
Big Fish. Yeah.
Yeah, like the light goes around, you try to like stop it at a certain dollar amount or whatever.
Yeah, 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 I'm aware. Yeah.
So that was the game show. And this guy, it starts to like slowly unveil like the true nature of who this guy is. Cause he like, first of all, this movie starts off, he like is doing this interview on tape, like in this room, basically doing like a casting call almost. And they're like asking him questions and whatnot. And then it like zooms out and like there's like a PA that comes in and he fucking like basically r just like infiltrated the interviews and his name wasn't even called or anything. He just like started going in and like doing an interview randomly and under someone else's name and like stole their identity basically.
Oh,
But then the
wow.
producer liked him and brought him into the game show anyway because he liked the answers he gave him and whatnot and liked that he was ballsy enough to do that.
Mhm.
And then more and more is unrevealed that because he gets on the game show and then just starts racking up fucking money like to the tens of thousands of dollars. So I don't even remember. He might have even broke like $100,000. Like it was like fucking nuts. And especially like 1984, like unheard of amounts of like money on a game show. And they
Mhm.
found out that this man was like literally studying the show and they only had like a certain amount of patterns on the show that like for different episodes and he literally would like record the episodes of the show and like so he could basically beat the game and was like winning all of their fucking money and they were
Mhm.
like trying to like stop him throughout the movie's about like the crew behind the scenes like trying to figure out how he's doing it and it's a very it's a very fun movie.
So wait, is Paul Walter Hauser the lucky guy
Yeah. Yeah, he's the
that
guy
snuck
that's like
on?
basically a fucking psycho almost. Because he's like,
Okay.
I think he's like divorced too, and like his wife like has custody of their kid and stuff, and he's kind of like a broke down low life. So he's
Mhm.
thinking he can strike it big by mastering this game show.
Wow. Yeah, I want to see it. Where'd you catch it?
I saw it in theaters.
Oh, okay. It wasn't even playing in my theater. But I definitely want to catch that one. It sounds like a fun concept. Kind of reminds me a little bit of a recent movie that came out just because they're both game show movies. Did you ever see The Woman of the Hour or Woman of the Hour?
I have not the Netflix one with Anna Kendrick. Yeah, I have not seen it
Yeah.
yet, but I want to.
Yeah, so I'm into it, so I'll catch it. Which one do you think I'd like more, that or Hell of a Summer?
Probably this one because it definitely this one, Hell of the Summer. It's a fun little summer camp movie, but this one has a lot of the more movie touches to it. Like it's like very like of the times and everything. Like the whole set design reminded me a lot of that David
What the
Dastmalchian movie that
last
came out.
Devil? Yeah, the Devil
Yeah, the
all the
devil.
time, or
Yeah,
something like that. Late
I
Night with
cannot
the
remember.
Devil.
Late Night with the Devil, yes.
I like
The
that movie a
whole
lot.
yeah, so like it very much like the whole like detail to the time period. They very much get that and nail that very much in here. It's actually the director. I'm not familiar with the name right offhand. Samir Oliveros. They've only directed another movie called Bad Lucky Goat,
Hmm.
but it was a damn good movie. Like I don't remember even. Oh yeah, Walton Goggins is the host of the TV show too, and he's
Oh, and he's
fantastic.
everywhere with misbehaving. You know what
Yeah,
I'm talking
so and
about?
yeah. I've only seen the first couple seasons of that show, but that's a really great show too.
Hmm. Yeah, I like him. I loved him ever since I seen Ant-Man and the Wasp. You remember him in that?
No,
I'm
but
kidding.
yeah, he was
Uh,
he was fine in that, but do you justify the TV show? If you
hmm.
ever have time, that's an incredible TV show, and he was great in that. But
He's a good cat, but yeah, I'll be sure to check that one out. I'll run through a couple real quick that I saw that you haven't caught yet. You just brought up, oh, I brought up Anna Kendrick. A Simple Favor has a sequel called Another Simple Favor. It's going straight to Amazon Prime. I thought that it was good. You know, I went and saw it in a theater. I'm one of the only people in the world that's ever going to be able to do that, apparently, because it's going straight to streaming, so everyone's got to forget about it. But it's kind of delivers everything you want from the first one. Like it's sexy, it's like catty, it's like mean girlsy, it's like very drama,
it bums me out that
gossip.
it's going straight to streaming because I saw the first one in theaters, and like truly, I think it's one of Paul Feig's like better movies by a long shot.
Yeah, and it's the perfect like girls' night out type movie, especially since like I was there at the theaters when It Ends With Us was doing gangbusters, and it's like that's a depressing movie. This is like a fun movie,
Hmm.
So I don't understand. And it's at like, it's in Capri, Italy, the out there at a wedding the whole time, so the fashion is very like I was just trying to think about what my mom would enjoy because there is a big emphasis on the fashion. Everything's nice, it's funny, everyone's sexy, it's good time, 3 out of 5. So I guess I recommend
So
that.
is it a Paramount Plus original then?
Prime.
Prime. Okay, I was wondering what company owned it.
Yeah, so but that's a thing. I also checked out, oh, I saw at the last second Black Bag. Did you see the Black Bag?
I have not yet.
One of my favorite movies of the year, actually. It's in my top 5 because I think right now I'm at Sinners, then Dogman, then Companion, then Black Bag, and then Mickey 17 or Warfare. I
I
don't know
haven't seen Warfare
exactly.
yet either.
I'll talk about that in a second, but Black Bag is like awesome. There should be more movies like this. It's like a sexy thriller type thing, but it's not like, like low, like low bar sexy. It's very like upscale sexy. Like there's no nudity or anything, but just the whole attitude of the movie and, the subject matter is very like sexy. And it's a very interesting, like seeing all these characters with different agendas, and spy stuff is going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I truly don't know anything about it, but I'm curious.
Well, it's Fassbender and Blanchett, and then it's directed by
Yeah.
Soderbergh, so it's professionals at work here. So I heavily recommend that. Like I think it's coming to streaming, like in like a week or so. So I definitely would recommend checking that out because, like I said, it's like my third or fourth favorite movie of the year right now. Very good time, and very satisfying ending to that movie as well. Like you will not waste your like all these movies that I recommend to you that came out this year. Please watch Black Bag. It's the best one. That being said, yeah, I brought up Warfare. That's also really good. The opening scene is amazing. The rest of the movie is very intense. It's kind of like a day in the life kind of a thing of these soldiers. So you're kind of just dealing with one situation for 90 minutes. And it's super intense and super horrifying. And I hate war movies, but this one accomplished what it was trying to do. And it was pretty impactful.
So the one experience I have with it, so I'll jump in real quick and say I saw a documentary actually the other day called Encampment. Super good. It's about like the encampment that the students did on Columbia University for the Palestine movement to free Palestine from Israel and all that stuff. And it's a
Hmm.
really good documentary. It has some of the people that have actually been sent out of the country wrongfully and whatnot in it, and lots of good stuff to talk about in that. But leaving that theater, it was probably 10:30, 11 o'clock at night almost. I was walking past a theater that still had its door open, but a movie was playing, and it was Warfare for sure because there was so much fucking gunfight. Like, it was loud. Like, I could hear it when I walked out of my movie down the hallway. I was like, what the hell is that? And I looked in there, I was like, 100% Warfare.
Yeah, I saw it in IMAX too, and yeah, it's a really like intense experience. But yeah, I give it 4 out of 5. It's like I said, it's in my top 10 right now, pretty decently high. I like Alex Garland. I like this more than Civil War, but not as much as like Men or Ex Machina or Annihilation. The characters, we're not really getting to know the characters too much, but you do get a really good vibe of them. It's not really that type of movie. It's just here's the situation. We're going to show it to you in a very realistic way, and that's it.
Yeah.
Um, I saw Drop. I think Drop you'd really like, especially if you liked Hard Eyes. You would love Drop. It's that kind of like romantic
Oh,
horror movie.
yes. So I keep forgetting about that movie just because the title is so simple, I think almost that like every time I see it, I'm like, what's Drop? And I'm like, oh yeah, I know about that movie, but it's because it's airdropping and stuff, and it just like it just doesn't for some reason the title does not stick in my brain until I see the poster again.
Well, it's very sticky, kind of like Unfriended or, Searching would be
Yeah.
the high end of something like this. But yeah, it's a very cheesy, type of thing. But they succeed in getting you to like her and like the guy, but also like leave the air of because it's who's leaving her the
Like a
airdrops. You know what I
like the
mean?
beginning of Barbarian, like the kind of skepticism of like I'm not sure if I can trust you or not type of deal.
Yeah, but I like them together. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like, so
I
you're
like the
rooting for
banter
them, but
back
you're
and forth.
suspicious.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. There's a waiter who's hilarious, and the movie kind of gets ridiculous towards the end, but like it's a fun date movie at the theater kind
I
of
about to
thing.
say from the trailers, it looked like a fun little thriller type of romp.
Hmm. Yeah, and then The Amateur with Rami Malek, that's like a snooze. That's like airport, thriller type crap. The coolest scene in the movie's in the trailer. I don't think Rami Malek's a movie star. I wish I fell asleep in this movie. Boring. Are you gonna see that? Yeah, like I'm like,
Probably.
what a fucking snooze. Who would give a fuck about this movie? Are you gonna see it?
I don't hate Rami Malek. I liked him in Mr. Robot, the show and stuff, but I haven't really loved his movie career so far. And
Mm,
I've had the opportunities to see it, and I'm kind of just like, nah, because I've kind of just felt like it was probably going to be one of those movies. Like the poster even itself just looks like every other Liam Neeson movie or something. Like nothing really like grabbed me about needing to see it.
mm. Yeah, yeah, it's not worth your time. It really isn't. It's so like standard stock. You've seen this, and you know exactly what's gonna happen from the moment it starts. And you don't like anyone who's in it. But I like Lawrence Fishburne. He's cool. But yeah, no, no, thank you. For me. And then Sacramento. Have you heard of Sacramento?
I don't think so. I mean, the place, but not the
Tell
movie.
Tell me if you've heard of this log line in recent memories. So we have our very neurotic, Michael Cera is the main character. He's very like, always stressing about everything, always paranoid, and he gets paired up. He has to leave his wife and future child because his long lost friend, like close like family friend, who's more of a loose, lackadaisical kind of guy who everyone likes and like obviously our main guy's jealous of him for that and they go on some road trip journey together and he's too uptight but he's not uptight enough. Am I ringing
Oh,
a bell here?
damn. I mean, it can't be possible that they stole that idea from Jesse Eisenberg because it's made so soon afterwards, but
Well, that we've
god
seen this
damn
movie a
the
million times,
coincidence. Exactly.
like
It's like it's too recent in people's memories, especially because like it was more separated enough between those other movies that have kind of done the same kind of story, but it's going to get endlessly compared to what is it called? I can't even remember what the title of it is right now. I
a
keep
real
wanting to call it
pain.
I must say I keep wanting to call it a complete unknown, but I knew it was different three words.
Well, it's kind of sad too, because like recently I rewatched Real Pain and jumped it up to a 5 star. So like this really felt stale. And then, obviously Michael Cera kind of looks like Jesse Eisenberg, like they're kind of celebrity doppelgangers. And so that doesn't help. And then the guy who's supposed to be the likable, carefree guy is just annoying. And
Who is
so,
that, by the way?
did you ever see Sky High?
I love Sky High, yeah.
Yeah, the main kid in Sky High, not only is he the star of the movie, but he also directed the movie.
I almost think it'd be more fun to have Michael Cera be that character.
Yeah, no, well, anything would have been more fun than this. This was very like unlikable and didn't have much to say and was sad and lame and pathetic, so I didn't like it. Um, I was down, I was down your alley recently and guessing what I found, a movie called Freaky Tales. I know I said of all the movies I'm going to recommend to you, watch Black Bag, and I mean that, but I don't think you'll enjoy any movie more than I think you in particular would enjoy Freaky Tales. Have you heard of this movie?
I have to look it up right now because you are truly hitting me with something I'm not familiar with.
It's like it's directed by the pair that did Captain
Oh,
Marvel.
I've seen the poster for it, but I have not. I know nothing about it.
It was in my theater, but I caught it on a screener. It's got Pedro Pascal, but like he's only in because it's like episodes kind of a thing. It's like think of like a Trick or Treat. Like there's a couple different stories we're gonna tell, but they kind of all go together, kind of a thing. And
Uh,
so it's not like Pedro Pascal's movie or anything like that. He just
yeah,
leads a segment in
it
it.
has the English cloud guy that died in it too.
Yeah, yeah, and that was a sad thing, but yeah, all the different episodes like go together well, and then they complement each other well, and they're fun, and you're gonna see a lot of like MCU people show
Wait,
up
so it's
because,
like
like I
a
said, it's the kind of Marvel directors.
episode, so like an anthology type thing, or
Yeah, yeah, like Trick or Treat, but it's
oh,
like a
that's even
movie,
cooler.
but like there's like chapters, and it's like this is their story, and
Oh,
this is their story, and you'll see like the other characters show up in the
I love that kind of
background.
shit. Okay, yeah, I'm
Yeah, and it's
down.
like a sci-fi like midnight movie, like fun. It's a very fun movie. I gave it a 3 out of 5. But it's a good time. It's a really good time, and I think you would particularly really enjoy it because it does seem like the type of movie that you seem to enjoy a lot.
Absolutely. Just looking at it, I'm totally down.
Yeah, I saw The Friend. This is Bill Murray and Naomi Watts and a dog. Bill Murray
Oh,
dies, and
yes.
so Naomi Watts to take care of his dog. But it's so irresponsible to put Bill Murray's face on the poster. He's not in the movie very much at all. But it's cute. She's got the dog, and the dog's so big, and she's so small. And she can't have the dog in her fucking little apartment, and that's a problem. And it's sweet and it's sad and it deals with grief. And I have a dog, so I liked it more than the average Joe, but it's nothing you need to write out for. And then that was all that I've seen that we haven't talked about yet.
So
So,
I'm gonna throw one more in there that we spoke of just a little bit,
mhm.
but I know you haven't seen it yet, and that is the Ray Nicholson joint Borderline. And
Yes.
it is so when this movie started, I was almost tempted to just back out and just not watch it because it didn't start off like it had its moments, but I was like, I'm not sure about this. Because it also is a period piece like in the 90s and like it just feels weird at first, but my favorite thing that this movie does is it takes a little while, but probably about like 45 minutes to an hour in. You could say a little bit beforehand because it has its moments where it like starts to get a little weird, but at a moment it just fully goes like super weird, but it is fucking hilarious. Like I was watching it with my mom, and by the time it ended, she was literally like, "That was one of the weirdest movies I've ever watched," and I don't think that was a positive thing. Like,
Mhm.
but I was just fucking cackling. Like I was not sold by the beginning, but by the end, I was laughing, and not because it was like extremely funny, but just because it was fucking weird, but a fun experience, I'll say.
I'll keep my eyes locked for
Ray
that one.
Nicholson, I I am kind of getting sold on him slowly because like he has enough of his dad in him where like he can do these like super weird like maniacal characters but also still have enough charm to him where you're like I kind of like this guy even though he kind of freaks me out at the same time.
Yeah, I liked him a lot in Smile too. He's a small role there,
Yeah.
but I liked him.
Yeah,
Do
in
you
what was that other movie he was just in where he was like kind of the villain bad guy? Oh, where it was like a whole thing
uh
where like he was oh, it was the Novocaine movie with
Oh, I'm a bad person. I'm so sorry. I haven't
you
seen
not seen Novocaine?
Novocaine. No, or
Oh,
Death of a Unicorn.
okay, then just quick thing on Novocaine since we might not have talked about it,
Hmm.
but I mean it's a fun movie. I gave it I think it might still be in my top 10 actually. I think I gave it like a 4, a 3.5. I
It
would
looks
probably
like
bump it
something
up to
I'd
a 4
enjoy.
though. It is silly. It's like kind of like a love story, but then it kind of turns itself on its head. I almost spoiled it for you by accident. So I'm happy you
Hmm.
stopped me because it's a really fun movie though, and I think you probably would get a kick out of it. I mean, Jack Quaid, I literally said it was like the battle of the Nepo babies. I didn't know I needed because it's Jack Quaid versus Ray Nicholson a lot of the time.
Yeah, that one I really wanted to catch. I felt like really bad for not seeing it. It got really good reviews. So out of the ones that you saw that I didn't see, so Novocaine, Borderline, there was two others we talked about
Oh, I
earlier
mean,
that you had
and
seen.
just speak quickly on Death of a Unicorn too, because I don't remember if we
Hmm.
talked about it the last time, but I this movie grew on me a bit more because like similar on its head, Cocaine Bear, Death of a Unicorn delivers on its title. There's a unicorn. Paul Rudd runs it over. I mean, we see that pretty much in the trailers and whatnot and all the material, but the story is really about rich people and the whole like taking advantage of people and whatnot. Like that's mainly what the story is trying to tell you. And like it's kind of the dynamics of rich people in medicine and there's a lot to take from it, but at surface level, if you just want to watch this movie, it's just a goofy ass like horror comedy. Very much emphasis on
Hmm.
the comedy. Will Poulter steals the show by a mile. He is fucking hilarious in Death of the Unicorn. Like Paul Rudd is Paul Rudd. If you like him, you're gonna like it. Jenna Ortega pretty much just plays Jenna Ortega like she does in most other things, and I still like her for it, but she pretty much is just one note. But the people that really steal the show, it's him and the fucking bald guy. I cannot remember his name. I want to say it's like Anthony something, but he was in
Hmm.
like the Barry TV show and stuff. But he's like a butler at this rich people's mansion, and the rich people commentary is fun, but all of the goofy effects and stuff are a lot of fun too. So I mean, it's more of a spectacle movie than it is like a good movie, but I recommend just checking it out eventually.
So Death of a Unicorn, Borderline, Novocaine, and then yeah, what were the two for? Because I'm gonna ask which one should I
Hell of a
prioritize the
Summer.
most? Hell of a Summer, and there was one other one.
The only one I can think of is Encampment, but I didn't really talk about that one.
A little bit, but yeah, which one out of all those? Because I think Black Bag is should be your priority. I think you would really like Black Bag,
Um,
and it's the best movie that you haven't seen. Well, besides Dogman, but we didn't talk about that today.
I think you'd probably get the biggest kick out of Novocaine, probably.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I thought that would be the
But I
one.
mean, I think I've seen a lot of people talking negatively on Borderline, but I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on it because you're either going to be with me or very much against me because this the same guy who wrote it is also the same guy. He's married to Samara Weaving, who she's the co-star of this movie too. She's like a famous pop star that he's like obsessed with.
Oh, like
And that's
Smile
like
too.
yeah, kind of. But it's like a
Mhm.
90s pop star thing and she's barely like even an actual pop star. Like she's not even really like she's I guess the protagonist, but like it's more Ray Nicholson's movie like 1,000,000%.
Mhm.
But her husband actually is the guy who wrote this and he also wrote a movie that you probably didn't like that she was in called what was it the one that was on Netflix that was like Killer Queen was the sequel that Jenna Ortega was also in. The
Oh
Babysitter.
yeah, no, I don't like those. Not a
Yeah, I think he
fan.
wrote the second one.
Yeah, he's not my friend. I
Yeah,
know
so
there's a
like,
Netflix one I want to catch. I think Havoc, the Tom Hardy thing.
yeah, I have not watched it yet, but I can already say that I'll probably say yes, you need to watch it and recommend it because did you ever watch the Raid movies?
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So same director, Gareth Evans. Yeah. So
Ooh,
I'm
ooh la
it's
la.
for the action alone, I'm very excited to check it out, but Tom
Hmm.
Hardy looks badass in it too. So, but yeah,
Hmm.
so you said what was that other one called too? The sci-fi one?
Oh, the
Black
one that you would
Bag
like,
and
Freaky
yeah,
Tales. Like, I
Freaky
think that's the one
Tales.
that's most up your alley. But the best movie that I talked about that you should see is Black Bag, which that'll be on streaming soon. So you should have an easy time with that. Freaky Tales, I don't
Got
know.
you.
That might take a minute.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out. But all
And
right,
then
yeah.
before we go, I do want to mention I think the movie that I watched from your Voodoo that I particularly liked lately was Police Story. The Jackie
Oh
Chan
yeah, Jackie
directed and
Chan.
starring the bus sequence, the whole like car going down all the like the buildings, the
Yeah,
little
all the
holes
stuff
in
in
the.
the mall and stuff too.
Oh yeah,
And
very
sliding
fun.
down
And
the
then
escalator
I
and
I didn't know
shit.
it'd be so funny either. Like a lot of it's this like slapsticky, like, oh, my girlfriend's on the other side of the wall and she's not hearing what I'm saying. kind of
That's a lot of
jokes.
the stuff about like the Chinese cinema and things like that. A lot of the stuff is they'll mix in a lot of the comedy into the martial arts and stuff. Like even like some of the when he's like tossing up the stuff in front of his naked body to like not show his dick and shit.
Yeah, there's like a fight scene where it's like a coat rack and
Yeah.
he's like fighting the guy with the coat rack. I think that's really fun. Jackie Chan's just a movie star. He's got it all. He's good looks, he's good fighting, he's funny, he has the heart. I think he just brings everything to the table. And I'm so happy that it's a part of the Criterion Collection.
Yeah, I
Excuse me.
think I think the first and maybe even the second one I think might have too. There's a few sequels. I've only ever seen the first one, but Jackie Chan's Jackie Chan. He's a legend and I mean, I'm honestly truly very excited to check out the new Karate Kid movie too.
Yeah, I picked that stupidly in one of my drafts because it's not gonna make very much money. It's not gonna get nominated, so I don't know why the
You
hell I
know,
picked it.
I don't know about the nomination thing. Yeah, you're probably not there, but the fucking Cobra Kai series, I think, got a lot more fans to Karate Kid even more. So I mean, it might help you out box office wise.
That was my thought process. Was I know
Yeah.
that there's like some long-standing like enjoyment of this franchise, and
Like
it's just a
Cobra
brand
Kai
name,
Cobra Kai
thing.
started on YouTube Premium, got canceled because YouTube Premium ended all of their original programming, and then Netflix picked it up because it was so popular. So I mean, it has its audience that I think you might be able to luck out a little bit on that one. But yeah, Jackie
Mhm.
Chan's amazing. I cannot remember. I was trying to look and see the last thing I watched on your Vudu, but
You have a tag, I believe. You're good about the tags.
yeah, try to find real quick. But is there any you recommend I check out soon?
It's funny on my phone. It's on your Voodoo. So like all I can see is my stuff on there. Oh boy, I don't know, something with M Night. Here, wait, can I check real quick? Uh,
I definitely still
uh,
haven't seen Woman in the Water still.
The Lady in the Water?
Yeah.
That's it. That's my pick. They built an entire apartment complex just for that movie. And do you know what like who M Night plays in that movie?
No.
Like, do you know anything about his character?
No.
Please, I'm begging you to watch this movie. Oh my God, he is such
I
an
think I just
asshole.
recently learned that Paul Giamatti was in it. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he's got a stutter in it, and he's really committed to it. Bryce Dallas Howard is like a fish lady, like a mermaid almost. It's very fantastical. It's very like meta as well. This movie's ridiculous. There's a guy you ever see on social media. There's like a guy's like, well, I tried to like only work out one arm and like not work out the other. They have that in this movie. There's a guy who's like that, and he's a character in it. And it's just such a wacky movie. I heavily recommend that.
All right. I'll try to check it out soon then.
But yeah, I'm motoring through yours. I think next one I'm gonna get to is I was going to Mother. I did Mother from Bong Joon-ho on yours.
Ooh, that's a really good movie.
Yeah, she's a badass, man. Like that
Mm-hmm.
ending was like super, I feel for her. And I get her, that fucking annoying kid that she has, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, good movie. Movies are dreams and movies are wonder. Was there any other movie things you wanted to talk about before we wrap up here today?
Nah, I think the thing I'm most excited for, I read the book series of Clown in a Cornfield, so I keep asking people whenever they see it, I want to know if it's good or not. So if you see this video, write it in the comments if you've seen it. I want to
I'll
know
watch
because
it for you.
I love those books so much, so I just want the movie to be decent.
Mm. Oh, also, and the next time we record, we will know who won the Knicks Pistons series. I'm a Knicks fan. Steve is a Pistons fan. So
Yeah,
one of us will be happy. And well,
dude,
whoever wins will lose to the Celtics in the next round.
that's very true, and I'm totally okay with that. But I'm just like totally transparent. I totally gave up last night. Like I was in such a bad mood from yesterday that
Hmm.
once I think Tobias Harris like got elbowed by Jalen Duren or something at one point and was like on the court laying down. They like cut to commercial, and I was like, "Fuck this game! I'm shutting it off. They're gonna lose to the Knicks, and I'm mad about it." And then I woke up
Hmm.
this morning, I was like, "They didn't lose to the Knicks."
Yeah, I only watched the fourth quarter because I was watching another Simple Favor and I was upset about it because we should have won that game. It's a great series though. Every game's super close.
That's the thing.
Um,
It's like there's a lot of other series that are already over that weren't that competitive, but say what you will, but this series has been incredible to just watch in general, like all the dramatics and everything.
hmm. But yeah, so sports are cool, but movies are cooler. Thank you guys for watching movies. I'm Adam. I do hard reviews. I'm editing like one of my longest reviews ever for Thunderbolts, and I go into detail about why I wasn't excited about it going into it and why what we got wasn't, exciting to me at all. And so if you want to be a hater like me, I can scratch that itch for you.
Well, if you don't want to be a hater like me, I haven't seen it yet, but I need to get back on the film fan review stuff. I let it neglect once again, but I'm probably just gonna do a big dump of movies, and it's gonna be a long video, but I'm gonna poop all over you with it, and it's gonna be good.
Dude, I'm gonna poop too. I have to poop right now. Thank you guys so much. Go poop. Go poop.
Poop.
I actually have to poop.